guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have a Palmer P-Bass shaped object on the bench today. Young person owns this guitar, requested that I look at it, evaluate it, do a setup, and well, we'll see if it needs strings. It may not. But we're going to go through the entire thing. Like I said, it's for a young person, talented young budding musician. Want to make sure that it's playing correctly and doing everything that it's supposed to do. Let's get to work. So if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. Pretty neat looking little guitar. Nothing special. Looks like a P-Bass, has a pickup configuration like a P-Bass. Looks like there might still be plastic on the pick guard. Yep. Just the truss rod adjustments here. I don't know what we're going to start with. I want to know, these strings look pretty old and pretty gacked. I haven't played it. I haven't plugged it in. I'm assuming 105 to 45. It's got 45 to 95. So, kind of light gauge strings for a bass. 100 to 45 is what I would recommend, but it's for a young person. Young girl owns this bass, and she requested that I look at it and see what's what. A couple of things I noticed loose. I think we can just plug it in and see if it makes sound, first of all. Hot little guitar. Okay, well, it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to. Once I get the strings off, I'm gonna look in there just to see what's in there. Other than the request for me to work on it, I don't know much else about it. So we're going to go in blind and start with the usual measurements. Yeah, the strings look really not good. I'm sure I have a set of strings here somewhere, but we'll see. Super tight. Super tight. Like probably in a back bow, I would guess. If it's holding on to the feeler gauge, that's no good. It's looking like it's got some relief in it, but I ain't digging on that. It's way too tight. There's our string height. Wow. So somebody tried to adjust string height with the neck relief. That's a fail. Over 8/64 and at 8/64. That's an epic fail for a bass guitar. So the first thing I want to do, I wonder if I have strings for this or not. Do I have a regular set of, I think I have a set of D'Addarios in there. Yup. Or D'Addario. Yeah. This will be just fine. Let's tune it and make sure we got the right tension. It's pretty much tuned to pitch. What I'm going to do, I'm going to guess that that's a 4mm. Which one I bet? How much you want to bet? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give it a half a turn, give or take, and see if that puts some relief in the neck, which I'm sure it will, as long as the truss rod is doing what it's supposed to do. Much better. I'm going to roll with that for now. It might still be slightly closer than normal, but it is, just that little turn on it helped a lot. And of course, that is going to bring our string action way up. Way, way too tall. This poor girl is working too hard to play this instrument. I'll bet you anything we can lower it because we know how to do it. I'm going to assume it's metric. I don't know. Nope. 1, 2. I know it's going to take more than that. I'm doing them all 2 full turns. And I know that it's going to, oop, that one's freezing up. Doesn't want to turn. What in the wide world of sports is going on there? That one's frozen too. Really stiff anyway. I don't know. They're all over the place. I'm going to set them level, which they were not to begin with. They were not level. Yeah, that one is really stiff. There must be something caught in the threads. Further investigation is required. And they're really tight together. They don't want to drop down. Well, they're pretty level now. I'm going to remeasure and see where we're at. This is crucial, and I'm doing this all before I get into new strings and everything else because I want to get it set up. I'm going to restring it. I'm going to put a new set of strings on it because I just don't trust these. Who knows how old they are, and I'm not going to guess at it. And then I'm going to clean it up and do my thing on it. I don't think we're going to get enough. I can already tell that we are way, way, way too far away from where we need to be, and we're going to bottom out. But let's continue and see what happens. I mean, it's just a mile away from the fretboard. There you go again. That saddle did not want to go down. It's pinched against the saddle right next to it. That one stopped going down. So at this juncture, I'm just guessing and eyeballing before I measure again. Yeah, she's going to be a little cantankerous, I can tell. That I unscrewed it and it didn't go down at all. I can't ever remember seeing one this far out of whack. We still have just a bit of adjustment left, but we're getting to the point, and already I can tell you we have set screws sticking out here at the bridge, and that's going to lead me right into there. It's going to need a shim. If I can even get enough out of it like this, which I don't think I'm going to be able to. We're getting closer, but it's still, I like 5 to 6 64ths on a low E on a bass, P bass or J bass. 4, 5, 6, 7. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's still a little high. Yeah, I see a shim in this guitar's life and its future, because I don't like to see these set screws sticking up like they are there. That is a bloody mess waiting to happen. All you do is scrape your hand across there one time, and you'll be shedding blood. I'm pretty sure we're buried on the E, the low E saddle. Sorry about my head. I'm just trying to get it to where it's acceptable, and it's not cooperating. We're all the way down on the G and all the way down on the E, and almost nothing left on the A and D. So, yes, we are putting a shim in this guitar, because fine tuning is going to be next to impossible, and already every set screw is sticking up all the way, and the saddles are slammed down on the body. This is not the end of the world, and it's easily fixed, but I have to de-string it, pull the neck off, and put a shim down in here. And what that effectively is going to do is correct the neck angle to the body and give us back our adjustment here. Yeah. Pause briefly while I see if I have a shim for this guitar. Stand by. Okay, so we knocked the strings off. I've got a wonky tuner here. It may just need a little bit of lube, or it might be too tight. But first things first, shim. Okay. These go in the neck pocket thusly. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Now, one side is thicker than the other. 0.033, 0.022, which is about 1/32 of an inch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about 1/32 of an inch. The thick side is going to go in the neck pocket. You can see they're pegged out. I've been using these lately. I used to use just a shim up here, but this actually lets the neck go down at an angle. It's not as obtuse of an angle. Obtuse? Yeah, maybe. It's thicker at this end and thinner at this end, and that allows it to pull up. And it does compress a little bit. It's hard wood, but that's where we're going. Absolutely necessary, and they call it a 25 degree, but like I said, it's about 1/32 of an inch here at the heel. So, yeah, major surgery. And some people freak out when they see this sort of thing. It's okay. I'm a professional. We're At least I've done it 100 times. I should maybe even 1,000 times, taking necks off of guitars and bass guitars. Don't know how old this guitar is. Don't know the country of origin. It's very nondescript, but that doesn't scare me. Every instrument deserves to play as well as it can possibly play. In a perfect world, I should have just been able to throw strings and do a setup on it, but sometimes these things happen. You never know what's going to hit your bench. So off comes the neck, in goes the shim, and then we're going to do a few things before we restring it. We're going to clean it, dress the frets, do the usual thing. I thought it would be just a simple setup video, but no, you see where we're going. These are super tight. Super tight. They'll stay in the, at least they'll stay in the body. That'll make it a little easier. I don't have to pull it all the way out. Wow, they're really tight. Like, I think they didn't put the pilot holes quite big enough in the body. Come on, you. That should be enough. Should be enough. Kind of curious to see just how, oh, there we go. It's getting ready to come right out. I can hear it kind of rubbing against the pick guard a little bit. Come on, you. You can do it. Here we go. Got two pieces. That could be unsettling for people who have never seen it. Pretty interesting. We are going to put our shim. Now, normally the shim goes all the way down in there, and that's kind of what I want to do. Unfortunately, it is not going to cooperate. So I am going to don't like that. Actually, I think that'll work. Is that my thicker end? I believe it is. I'm pretty sure that's my thicker end. See, they're designed to kind of fit the neck pocket. Usually you want to see them all the way down in the pocket like that, but sometimes they don't. That's the thicker end, and that's the end I want to go up. So that's how it's going to live, right there. Well, the tricky part is to get our screws to hold it in place so that it doesn't go wonky on us and try to move around, because, yeah, it's not going to be held in place. Excuse me. What we're going to do is drive these in just enough to hold it. Just so the tip of the screw comes through the neck pocket over here. And then we'll place the shim on it. And then the neck back in the pocket. And that'll be it for today, because I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth. Video length. Yeah, a regular setup, we would have been done already. Restrung it, set everything up, but yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna feel better about doing this, because this is what needed to happen. This is what needed to happen. Yahtzee. Now, we're going to place our neck back in the pocket, all the way down. Yep. Lift it and start driving our screws in. Yeah, you could use a drill on this or a power tool. I don't recommend it. I like to feel what's going on in there as the screw goes in. If you use a power tool on this, by the time you realize something's gone wrong, it's too late. You strip something out or you split a piece of wood, and you're really in the weeds. Turn this around because I'm not really left-handed. You're just pulling them up right now. You're not tightening them down. In just a moment, I'm going to illustrate what the saddles look like before and what they're going to look like after. Because this is going to give us the adjustment that we need for string height. You don't want to ever be buried all the way down onto the bridge with your saddle height. It looks really good, and believe it or not, it really fits in there tightly. 0.004 of an inch feeler gauge will not even go down in there, and I like to see that. You don't normally see that with these cheaper off-brand guitars. Usually there's a big gap there, and the neck will tend to wobble side to side, and you're relying on screw tension to hold it straight. You don't want that. So our shim is in and it's tight. I'm going to check these again after a day or so just to make sure everything is snugged up right. Now, I wanted to illustrate right there. If I can get a good look at that, you see how our saddle screws, our set screws are protruding very, very prominently above our saddles. Okay, by putting that shim down here in the neck pocket, we have made up that. So the thickness of that shim is going to give us this adjustment back. When we put this back together, the strings are going to be slammed, and we're going to have the adjustment to lift them up off of the board. Where before, it was exactly the opposite. We needed to go lower, 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 and we got all the way down almost to the end of where it will go, and our screws are protruding all the way up. So, and that's all it takes is one time to rub your hand across that, and you're going to be bleeding all over that beautiful white pick guard. But I digress. I really want to take this off. It looks like there's still plastic on it, and I want to get that off, and I really want to inspect what's going on in here, but we're going to call that good for today. So it's a Palmer, it's an off-brand P-base shaped object, solid body. I tightened everything up. We tried to make some adjustments, and we realized it needs a shim. We're going to go to cleaning it and restringing it and getting a setup done in the next video. Stand by. We're going to put a second part to this video up. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. If you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. I really appreciate all of you that have been supporting me. We'll talk soon.